the bare minimum you need to legally launch without wasting money and how to discern which option is best for you and your growing business. Hi, my name's Coco, and today on the Lady Icon Life podcast, we are going to be discussing exactly that. What do you need to actually legally start your business? We're going to cut through all of the noise and the legal jargon. We're going to get straight to what you actually need to launch your business. No unnecessary expenses, no legal jargon, just the essentials to set up your business so that you can start making money. There's so much out there for us to consider. And when you're an entrepreneur and starting your own business, there's enough for you to do that sometimes understanding these small, minute details can feel overwhelming. And that usually leads to analysis paralysis. It usually means we get so overwhelmed with the amount of possibilities, of noise, of ideas, of people telling us this is what you have to do, that we feel like we can't do anything because we're scared of doing the wrong thing. So today, let's talk a little bit about what some of these terms mean and hopefully enable you to feel empowered to make this decision for yourself. So let's talk about some of the legal jargon you'll hear a lot around business setups. You may have heard the term LLC and sole proprietorship. Let's talk a little bit about why that matters and what those are. LLC is a limited liability corporation. This means that the company can be liable without the people who own the company being liable. So most corporations, most businesses of any significant size are set up like this because there's frankly just too many people working for them, too many possibilities, too many people using their products that they have to protect themselves legally. So when you think LLC, think protection, think professional, because this is what most corporations use to protect themselves and their assets. A sole proprietor is something you can just do immediately. You can be the sole proprietor. You've started your business, you've named it, you've started selling your goods or services. You start talking about your goods and services and trying to sell your goods and services, you're a sole proprietor. It's very fast, but there is no legal separation between you and your business. You are your business at that point. So if anything happens with your business, it is also happening to you and your personal finances. In that case, if you're a sole proprietor, the business is not liable. You are liable for anything that comes up legally in regards to happenings with your services or your products or your business in general. So that's why it's so important if you are starting out in your business to really understand what those two mean and what's the best for your particular business. If you want to scale to reach any amount of people other than maybe your immediate friends and family, your immediate inner circle, you're going to want to consider an LLC. If you're just testing an idea and you're just making a video or talking to some people about it, sure, sole proprietorship. That's very low risk in terms of the reach. It is when you get to servicing people that aren't in your immediate circle that you don't know that you want to ensure that you are protecting yourself and your assets. Great. Let's go through a checklist. I love a checklist. It must be that wonderful European upbringing, that German mother that just makes me love a checklist. So let's get through some of the must-haves. 1, LLC. If you want an LLC, this can seem like something that you may need to hire someone to do or that is too legally detailed for you to be able to do. That is absolute bullshit. You can do this. It is done by the state. So there are services that you can use like LegalZoom, but this is something you can do. And this is something you can do quickly. We actually have a full course here at Lady Icon Life called She Means Business, and it walks you through exactly this, how to register your LLC, and get your EIN number, which is point number 2 on our checklist. So if you ladies are interested in how to do this efficiently, how to check this box and try to get this done, please check out our course, She Means Business. You can go to ladyiconlife.com for more information about our courses. But this is something that can seem overwhelming, but once you have that roadmap, once you have exactly the video showing you and the workbook showing you exactly what to do and the exact links to go to, so you're not worried that you're clicking on a wrong link that's going to take you somewhere saying, now you have to pay for our services. No, all of that is cut through and you have a simple list to follow. You can do this. And I know I'm so confident in your ability to do this. The EIN, so that is your business's social security number. That is completely free. That is run federally through the IRS. That takes 5 minutes. I am confident you can do that. And that is, of course, part of our course, She Means Business, if you all are interested in that. A business bank account. This is essential for those that have decided to set up an LLC because this keeps your personal and your business expenses separated. Even if you have an LLC, if you start commingling your funds, it can negate the legal protection that the LLC gives you. So it's so important that we set up that business bank account. Also something that's done in the class, She Means Business. The third must-have, we need to be able to tell people about our business. So we need to ensure that we have not only branded our business accordingly, but gotten the subsequent domains and social media handles to ensure that we have a singular, synonymous, powerful brand to communicate to our customers. We need to go online. We need to make sure we can secure those domain names and those social media handles. Check those domain names. You can do Google domains or grab down GoDaddy or Namecheap and just make sure you get the domain that you want. And then, of course, you can check your social media handles by going onto their specific websites, either Instagram, TikTok, and checking to ensure that your business name is there and available. So go ahead and grab those. Again, those are free social media handles and the domain names can usually be pretty nominal. Okay, let's talk about the things that we don't need to spend time or money on. The first is a fancy website. We do not need to spend time if we are launching, if we are just trying to get our business started on a fancy website. A simple landing page is enough. I have a couple of different services I've used for both hosting and website design and creation. Everything from WordPress to Kajabi to Squarespace to Wix. I will say for me personally, I like the drag and drop method for very simple websites on Wix the best, and I think their pricing is the most competitive. But really, whatever service you want to use, a lot of times you need to not think of what the perfect hosting platform would be. Some of the platforms like Kajabi are $200 a month versus some of the platforms like Squarespace and Wix or WordPress, which are like $20 a month. So when we're trying to be scrappy and starting up, we really want to keep those expenses to a minimum. So think about that when you are investigating where to place your platform. And again, don't spend the money where you don't need to. And a fancy website is a not need to. Second thing not to waste money on, expensive trademarks. Okay. A lot of people want to get these right away. Oh, this is mine. I'm going to trademark this. Wait until your business is profitable. When you know that this is the trademark, you don't need to pivot. You don't need to find another vertical. You don't need to tweak. Wait until you have some profitability to back up that return on our investment, our time and our money to do that, to go through the trademark process. So wait until you have that verification before you jump in and start getting your TMs. Business cards. We do not need to spend money on business cards, guys. This is definitely an outdated network. Everything is done online. There's some great digital business cards you can do. If you do want some of the traditionals, I highly recommend just going onto Canva, designing something simple and printing them out locally and just getting a few, like 25. I got 25 a few years ago and I'm still using those 25 that I got years ago. I think I got mine printed at Walgreens and I got 25 or 30 for $2. So look at something very simple if you do want them. But again, we don't need to waste money or time on that. It's an outdated method. We've got everything online. Let's talk about some action steps you can take. 1, go and register your LLC and get your EIN. If you're stuck, check out the mini course, She Means Business, because I will walk you through everything step by step. Thank you so much for joining us this week on the Lady Icon Life podcast. Again, I'm Coco. If you are interested and want to learn more, please DM us Launch on Instagram, and we will break everything down for you. We would love to help you get your next big idea up and running. Let's get to work.